Hi, I'm Adam Reese. Welcome to Grit Gym. If you would like to get a free strategy session, go ahead and click the link down below, and that'll give you 1 hour with us so that you can get a ton of individualized guidance moving forward. Obviously, we want you to sign up, but if you don't, no harm, no foul. All's well, at least we were able to give you information that you're going to be able to use for years and years to come. Anyway, so what are we talking about today? This was from basically like impromptu Q&A that came out last night. And some people were asking some interesting questions that we're going to expand on here. And if you're coming in here while it's live, go ahead and put questions down below. I do have the sun in my eyes, so I can't see super well. But if you're coming in later, just write hashtag team replay down in the comments section. It does help us if you guys like and comment on these too, but this is a live video right now. Anytime that you see the thing go live, that means I'm actually here. I think that some people don't realize that, but one of the questions was, how long before with protein? And after asking some clarifying questions, if you've watched a lot of the videos that we've done on nutrition in the past, one of the things I say that's just a very easy, I don't like the word hack, but very easy hack thing that you can do is just to eat protein first. Like you're looking at your plate, and you have maybe potatoes and steak and green beans, whatever. Eat your steak first. Eat your green beans and your steak first. And that'll probably be better off for you in the long run because you'll be more satiated faster and you'll feel full faster than if you were to eat the carbohydrates first. So just a very, very quick, easy thing to do. But the question was, how much before do you eat the protein? And I think that this was just a miscommunication on my part. You still eat all of that food at the same time. You're prioritizing one thing when you sit down to eat. So it's not like you have to eat your protein like 2 hours ahead of time. You can just eat right at that time. So that's a really easy way to get ahead of just, feeling hungry all the time. Anyway, then there's some other questions around peri-workout nutrition. This would be the before, the during, and the after of your workout. What should you be consuming? This is one of those things that is kind of, everything in here is individual to each person, but most people will do well with a very small meal about an hour to 90 minutes before the workout. Think half of a turkey sandwich, something like that. And then after the workout, your body is basically, the cells are wide open, they're screaming for nutrition, they're saying, feed me, right? And you have this window, this opportunity that is about an hour long where you can feed those cells. And so you want to take advantage of that. So this is why a lot of people have the post-workout shake. They do their smoothie with the whey protein in it. And the reason whey protein is superior post-workout is because it gets into your body so fast. So if you were picking of when you were going to take your whey protein shake, are you going to take it first thing in the morning or are you going to wait until after your workout to take it? You would take it after your after your workout because whey protein is the fastest digesting protein. It's going to get into your system the quickest. Whereas with breakfast, you're probably not going to work out to the afternoon. So with breakfast, you want this really long, slow digesting protein that's going to take a while to break down so that you're satiated for longer, so you feel more full for longer, so your appetite is curbed naturally, right? So something that would be better for first thing in the morning would be eggs, because eggs are actually your slowest digesting protein. So they're going to take a really long time to break down, right? So over the course of that 12, 14, 16 hours, depending on your body, you'll feel a little bit more full during that time, and then you'll be able to utilize them during your workout, where 12 hours after your workout, your anabolic window is then, it's not the same as it was 1 hour afterwards. So if you're going to have your whey protein, have it right after your workout. And then during your workout, I mean, this, I think it's a little silly. You're kind of behind the punch, or behind the times or whatever during your workout. So you probably, because it's going to take a little while. It's going to take a little while before, you chew the food, it goes to your stomach. It's got to be broken down. It's got to go through your GI tract. It's going to take a little while there, and then it's got to go and get all the way out into your blood system. Be delivered to the cell. I mean, it takes time, right? So the food that you ingest, that you would ingest, or the supplement that you ingest during your workout is not going to get to your cells until long after the workout. So just something to keep in consideration. Just stay hydrated to the point that doesn't interrupt your workout, and you're probably fine as long as you've been hydrated and eaten well throughout the day. Breakfast was another one. like why don't I eat my whey protein for breakfast? We just went over that. What is a good breakfast? What constitutes a good breakfast? This is one of those things that for some reason is very different between males and females for whatever reason. Males tend to do better without breakfast than females do. Females tend to do better with a high protein, high fat, extremely low carbohydrate breakfast. Males tend to be can add a few more carbohydrates to their breakfast and still get away with it. So if you wanted to just play it safe, it might be a good idea to just have a high protein, high fat breakfast with very little carbohydrates in it. And something to keep in consideration is that most of us, our cortisol levels will be highest around 7 a.m. So ingesting during that time is going to store fat differently than it will later in the day. So should breakfast be your biggest, most important meal of the day? I don't know. But it is kind of a stable datum. It can be kind of like your pre-workout, like your pre-game, sort of like get yourself focused sort of thing. I think you probably are better off waking up, having some structure to your day, eating protein. What can be ways to make it a little bit easier? Well, one thing that you can do, a lot of people say hard-boiled eggs, but the problem with hard-boiled eggs is you still have to peel off the shell, and it's kind of a pain in the butt, right? So one thing that you can do is just poach the eggs. So just spin the water, drop the eggs in, and you can do a dozen at a time, and then you can just store them in a container and warm them up later. Or you could do an egg bake. You just do a casserole dish. And then you just slice them up, right? And you do that on Sunday, and that's your breakfast for the week. It's very, very easy. You just pop in the microwave. But eggs are going to be something that is very satiating. It's also the debate on the cholesterol. That research was so bad that it should have never even been published. So at this point, it seems very clear that diet, nutrition and exercise play a role, but at the same time, much, much more of it is genetic than we ever gave credit for in the past. I'm getting super washed out here. But anyway, can you guys even see my eyes? I can't. I'm having a hard time seeing right now. The sun's right in my face. But anyway, also one of the other things that we talked about was oils. You know, what is good? Like, is vegetable oil, canola oil, EVOO? What should we be using? I think there's two things here. One is the stroke thing that was happening with people wasn't because of the oil. The stroke thing was because the people were consuming rancid oils. Two very different things there. So something to consider. How do you know if the oil is rancid? It won't necessarily have that really awful smell, but one thing that you can do to reduce the chances of the oil being rancid is to buy a dark container. So don't buy a container that's clear of olive oil, for instance. And olive oil is fine, by the way. Seed oils, not so much. So you probably don't want to be eating the vegetable oil or canola oil. And if you really wanted to have a superior, like, it's probably a little bit better to just go with an avocado oil. If you really, just wanted to be safe, and just go avocado oil, it's going to be better. And grass-fed butter is always going to be an option. Save your bacon grease. That kind of thing. There's nothing wrong with oils. I think that we're getting to a point where fats aren't demonized anymore, which is really nice, but you do still want to think about the fats that are going in your body. So the third thing around oils to keep into consideration is the harmful seed oils. And I kind of hate to call them harmful because it's almost like saying toxic. It's like, oh, the toxins that are going into my body, right? But the correlations between the insurgence of vegetable oils in our diets and the health ramifications along with them, it's kind of hard not to see a correlation there. And I'm not saying it's necessarily because there's multiple factors that are going along there, but if we can decrease some of these factors, maybe we have a leg up. And it does seem that these seed oils don't tend to do us much good. So something to get rid of in your diet is like the vegetable oils and the canola oils. Probably just not the better option. Something like avocado oil would probably be a lot better. A coconut oil, a grass-fed butter. You can try some tallows or like bacon grease and that kind of stuff, but or just plain lard. But if you're looking for something to just oil the bottom of a pan, I can't believe it's not butter is a little silly. It's probably not actually butter or something that you want going into you. The sprays, probably not a great idea. Anyway, I've beaten that topic to death. The last one is just protein. How much should I be eating? Everybody's quite a bit different in that department. But if you're, how do I say this? if you want to add up one macronutrient and you want to concentrate on one thing, you probably do want to focus on protein up front. And it's because protein is extremely hard to turn into fat. Also, it's very satiating. So it's a very easy one to look at. Now, if you want to drop your total body weight really fast, you just get rid of all your carbohydrates, because those do weigh something and you get this huge front load of weight loss on it. But I don't know if you really, you'd have to track your muscle mass gain and maintenance and your actual fat loss to figure out if it was just total weight or if it was just carbohydrates being dropped. But protein is one of the very easy things to look at. So where was I going with this? They asked about protein. So how much protein should you be eating? Most people will do well at about 1 gram per pound of body weight. And I'm really painting with broad strokes there, so I don't really want to talk too much about this, but that can be one thing to look at right away. So if you open up and you track your macronutrients for a couple of weeks, which is really tedious, and you add up how much protein and you're getting 10% of your body weight, then that's extremely, extremely, extremely low. So one of the easiest things that you can do is just drive up your protein intake, and naturally that'll drive down your probably your carbohydrate intake, and that'll balance itself out very nicely. But I'm painting with super broad strokes, so take that with a grain of salt. Anyway, those are a few things that we got asked last night in this impromptu Q&A. If you have more questions, please put it down below. Questions actually help me out a great deal, because then I know what to talk about on here, because then you guys, it's actually content that you're interested in. And then I don't just have to make stuff up, which was kind of nice last night when everybody started asking me questions. But there's some stuff around breakfast, peri-workout nutrition, and protein. Hope you guys are having a good day. Comment down below. Also, if you want to take advantage of that 1 hour session, click down there. It's completely free, and I guarantee you're going to get a ton of value out of it.